Hello, everyone. It's me, Mrs. Cubbage. Yes, I am live. That's right. I'm coming to you live from the Pandemic Press Media Studios here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, it is Halloween, and I know you're like, oh my goodness, Mrs. Cubbage, you just love wearing that star crown. But I have to tell you, I do have on not only my star crown, but I do have on my pink, and I have my Wicked t-shirt here that says, pink goes good with green. Yes, that's right. Pink goes good with green. So if you are a fancier of Wicked, then you already know what that means, right? So we are going to get right into it. Cooking Fun with Mrs. Cubbage is sponsored by Vibrant Souls Health and Wellness. You could find them on Instagram or you could email them at vibrantsouls@gmail.com. Cooking Fun with Mrs. Cubbage will begin in just a moment. There you go. That was pretty funny. Okay. Now, this is what I'm going to do. Boom. All right, we got things happening here. So, everybody is excited about Halloween, and I think because it is the kickoff, I'll say, to the major holidays, right? We've got Thanksgiving literally around the corner. We've got Christmas. We've got Hanukkah. We've got, I believe, Ramadan also happens in, I don't know, I could be confused about that. Let me check. I think that is in there as well. I'm gonna check. No, okay. Maybe Ramadan. Did Ramadan just happen? Well, nonetheless, Christmas, we've got Hanukkah, we've got Kwanzaa. Hanukkah comes early this year. I'm looking, it is the 14th of December. Wow, that is quite early. So happy all holidays to everyone who celebrates all of these wonderful things. So back to Halloween. Ooh, there we go. We want to keep this. I want to keep this on here nice and steady. So I've got my very fun glass there for Halloween. A friend got it for me as a gift, so it's kind of cool. So a little bit of water to get me started. And we are going to work on our pumpkin seeds. That's right, our pumpkin seeds. So right here, I've got a nice big old pumpkin. Here we go. Ah, big old pumpkin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around here to the side because I hope that you'll be able to see me cutting through it. Now, I'm not actually going to carve it into anything in particular. What I'm going to do is I just want to get to the seeds, all right? Now, if you are not, I'm going to put this over here because I need the pan a little bit later. Okay, here we go. Maybe if I do that, is that good? Okay, so as you can see, I've actually washed off my pumpkin. And as I said, I don't need to carve this pumpkin, but all I really need are the seeds in the pumpkin because I'm going to bake them, and that will be the big reveal in part 2. And what I'm going to do is once I have baked them and everything, because it takes a while for them to bake, depending on your oven, you might want to bake them on 375 for about 45 minutes total. But halfway through, you want to set a timer for halfway through, and then you want to get your big spoon, and you want to kind of mix the seeds around while they are here we go. You want to mix them around while they are in the oven, so you can make sure that you get coverage with the butter, right? You're going to put butter, and you're going to put some salt. Now, here in the Cubbage household, we use accent salt, and I'll show you all of that in the next one. And if you would like Mr. Cubbage to join me for a taste test, let me know in the comments. That would be amazing. Okay. Now, as you can see, you got to be careful cutting through. And as I said, this isn't going to be a pumpkin for carving. This is just a pumpkin. There we go. There we go. And look at that. One already came off. All right. Now, I'm going to just kind of cut the top of that off, because I'm very curious to see how many seeds I can get out of this pumpkin. I'm very, very curious. All right. That's good. Now, when you are baking your seeds, okay, what I want you to do now, someone who taught me how to make, or I should say, gave me their suggestions about how to bake the seeds. She says, don't wash the goo off. All right. Now, I myself wash a little bit, just a little bit of the goo off. That's just me, because sometimes there's a lot of goo on the inside. Okay. Look at that. Sometimes there's a lot of goo on the inside. So I do like to keep some of the goo on there, because it does help to crisp up. Look at that. Look at that. It does help to crisp up the seeds, but sometimes people just don't want all that. Sometimes too much of that goo just doesn't exactly work, right? I know it sounds crazy, but so I rinse off a little bit of the goo, and then I go from there. I put my butter on. I melt 1 stick of butter per pumpkin. Look at that. Woo! Wait till you guys see how much seeds are in here. This is crazy. This pumpkin, I'm actually surprised. It's actually giving a lot more seeds than I was expecting, but that's great. This is exactly what I want. And then sometimes if I get too frustrated, or if you get frustrated, well, it's not even really frustration. You just want to do it, right? You want it to be done. what you could do is you could reach in, you could reach on in with your hands. Right, now look at this. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. Now I want you to start to see. I'm going to try to see if I can make it kind of pile up here. Oh, which is amazing. Here we go. And, whew, that is a lot of seeds. That is wonderful. This is going to be good. This is going to be a good batch of seeds. All right. So you see, you can dig. And it is good sometimes to have the spoon, you have a big spoon, to kind of scrape the sides. And then you could dig on in. All right. Now, sometimes the goo does get stuck. Oh my goodness, I have like a whole family of seeds down at the bottom here. This is wild. This is a lot. Look at this. That is a lot of seeds. And I was going to say, it is kind of a healthy snack. Well, except with the butter. Except the butter part, right? But I find it funny, actually. I was carving a jack-o'-lantern, right, with my preschoolers. And the funny thing was, I had a little guy. I always have one every year when I do this that asks, Mrs. Cubbage, can I eat these seeds? And this little guy, he actually has some allergies. And believe it or not, to like fruit, fruit allergies, like pineapple and things like that. And I didn't want anything to happen, right? So I suggested that maybe he wait until Mrs. Cubbage bakes them, right? And, he didn't give me any guff. That was great. Sweet little boy. But it was funny. He just kind of looked up at me with those big old eyes and was like, well, can I eat? I just thought it was so, so cute. So you never know. If you have a little person that's helping you with this, I guarantee they just might, if they're not worried, if they're not worried about getting sticky or gooey or whatever, because a lot of children nowadays do have some sensory issues for whatever reason. I don't know why. But this little guy, he dug right in. He's in it just like I'm in this pumpkin right now, And it was really cute. It was really actually kind of inspiring. I was happy to see a little guy wanting to stick his hands in there. He wanted to get in there. He wanted to get those seeds out. And, by golly, we did. We got those seeds out. And we're going to have a good old time eating those pumpkin seeds next week, because the pumpkin is also part of the harvest, right? And that is also something to be thankful for. So we could just roll this into a big, great, grand lesson, for the month of November. Things to be thankful for. And there we go. I think I got it all. That wasn't too bad. Not bad at all. All right. Now, are you ready to see what came out of this pumpkin? Let's see. All right. Are you ready? Oh, wow. This is going to be a nice batch. That's going to be a really nice batch. Now, like I said, I've got quite a bit of the goo, So I will take some of that off. I will, but yeah, it's going to be a nice batch. I think that's going to be a great batch. So I'm going to put that. I don't need the lid anymore. I got what I needed. I got what I needed. So thank you so much for joining me today. As you know, we're going to do a part 2 to this one next week. So you could come back and you could see how the seeds turned out. I thank you so much for hanging in there with me. I truly do appreciate it. And speaking of hanging in there with us, in a little bit, just less than, this thing just doesn't want to stay. In less than 24 hours, we are going to be going live. That's right. Sam C and I will be on here live. All right. Right here in this same, almost the same spot, but right here on this channel. Okay. And I promise tomorrow I won't be wearing the crown, or maybe I should. Maybe I should wear the crown, but I shouldn't be ducking my head, right? Because that'll make it fall over. But thank you so much for joining me. And again, make sure you do check us out tomorrow live. And we do thank those of you who have found us by way of our shorts. We truly do appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm a little bit sticky, so I'm going to go ahead and get my hands all washed up and get to baking. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day, everybody. And I will see you again really soon. Happy Halloween.